The call to go make disciples for Jesus Christ, as he says in Matthew 28, verse 16 to 20. In most cases, we tend to think that it's a call at the last hour of Jesus. At times, we tend to think of it that it's the last thing that Jesus communicated. But as a matter of fact, it was actually, it did not only reflect at the end of his ministry, but it also reflected clearly at the very beginning of his ministry. And here we get to see in Matthew chapter 4, 18 to 20, this is the story. One day as Jesus was walking along the shore of the Sea of Galilee, he saw two brothers, Simon also called Peter, and Andrew, throwing a net into the water, for they were fishing for a living. Jesus called out to them, "Come, follow me, and I will show you how to fish for people." And we get to see that we get to see that at the very, very beginning of his ministry. When Jesus calls us to himself, he calls us with a mission already in mind. He already tells us what we need to do even before we start even following him. Always when I go for evangelism, a few things that I get to emphasize, and many people that go for evangelism, they get to emphasize this need for this new believer to start reading the word, the Bible every day, start praying every day, being part of a fellowship, attending, going for Sunday service, and also sharing the same faith with other people. And so my emphasis is on this last piece, sharing Jesus with other people. We are called to share Jesus with other people. The moment we receive the news does not stop with us. The news goes on to our family members, goes on to our friends, goes on to our classmates, our roommates, all the people that we encounter with. It's our responsibility to share Jesus with them. And this is a command. It's a command. Sometimes we think it's a suggestion. Sometimes we think that it's something that maybe we should not do, or it's for some people to do. But as a matter of fact, sharing Jesus with other people is a commandment to every disciple of Jesus Christ. So when they were called, the two brothers, when they were called, this is what happened. Verse 20 we are told, and they left their nets at once and followed him. Remember, before this part, there was this part that I read where the Bible says, throwing a net into the water, for they fished for a living. Basically, what these two brothers did was they were fishermen. It was their source of livelihood. It was where they provided for their family. It was where they met their needs. But nonetheless, Jesus calls them and he tells them, I'm giving you a new assignment. I'm giving you a new responsibility. Go fish for people. Follow me and I will teach you how to do this. Am I saying that everyone now should leave their jobs, leave their work and go share Jesus with people? Maybe yes, for some people. For some people, God is calling you actually to step out of that job, out of that teaching career, that medical profession, that course you're doing, and start pursuing his call upon your life. That is for some of you. For some, it may not necessarily be that, but it could be you need to start engaging in an evangelistic conversation with people around you, at your workplace, in your homes, in the taxi, and everywhere you are. Why? Because Jesus has called us to follow him, and in the process of following him, make disciples, fish for people, draw people to himself. That's the command we're given, and we must change the way we think and see ourselves as witnesses of Christ, see ourselves as messengers of Christ, see ourselves as his representatives in our places of work, in our schools, and all these places that God puts us. Yeah, share with me what your thoughts are regarding this, and whom or who could God be leading you to share